collectors nationwide and abroad. It's time.
It's a little loud.
To get
There you go.
hype. Come on. About the hobby we are all a part of. Live from the Mojo Break Studios. It's Dan and Doug. Check it out. Come on. So, get hype. Be hype. This is The Hype.
Warriors are going 0-82. What's going on, everybody? Totally messed that up. How's everybody doing today? We're back with another episode of The Hype. It's episode 18 on the 18th, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. My head is about to explode with how many sports are going down at once. All four major sports. We got college football. I'm sure there's some MMA fights going on. It's just sports overload, and we're going to talk about it all today. What's going down, guys?
You say MMA or anime?
Both.
You say
there's probably anime going down too.
Anime fights?
Anime fights. Those are the best kind.
I swear that's what I'm like. I'm all anime fights.
Some good stuff.
What the hell?
I'll take the chick in the pink boots. We're going to talk about a little NBA action. It happened last night, first two games. We're going to talk about some NFL, some postseason stuff. We're also going to preview some Diamond Icons, which comes out today. New high-end baseball from Topps.
Ultra high end.
Ultra high-end, top shelf stuff, which we're going to be breaking after this. So check out our schedule on mojobreak.com for your Diamond Icon needs. I think they only made a couple hundred cases of this, so this stuff's going to be gone skis quick. We're also going to talk about another scam in the group break industry that kind of took note over the weekend that we'll talk about at the end of the show. But NBA opening night, man, two action-packed games yesterday. Cavs of the Celtics, Dubs, Rockets. Starting off with the Cavs and Celtics, obviously we had that gruesome Hayward injury, which was just, man, you don't want to see that in the first couple minutes of the game.
Oh, thank you for that angle.
A little bit better of an angle there.
Thank you. But you could see his back ankle right there is facing a very odd direction.
Yeah, look at the guy with the long hair behind him pointing, and then you have the other guy, people on their face.
I didn't even notice that. Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I hate to laugh because it was a gruesome injury, but
Looks like he's got a pro mullet back there.
I was watching the game with my wife, and I've never yelled at the TV so loud because I saw him fall, and I thought it was a back injury, and then all of a sudden they showed the angle of the foot, and I was just like, oh, my God. Like, I could not believe it. It was just, like, insane, and, you know, it's just big signing for the Celtics to go out like that. Hey, they made it competitive. Celtics are going to be good, man. What do you think, C-Red?
It's a brutal blow for the Boston Celtics. Brutal blow for Gordon Hayward. He's a great young player. But Celtics, I think, they'll carry on. There's going to be a huge load on some of their other youngsters now. But I've been telling you guys before even the Hayward went down. I felt like, and I was saying this last night too. I felt like this year the Raptors would still, even the Raptors would beat. I feel like this would beat the Celtics in a 7-game series, but now it's going to be going to be even tougher to even just beat the Raptors.
We got to make a bet on that because I am team Celtics for the East. I absolutely fell in love with Jason Tatum last night. First double-double for a rookie Celtics player since Larry Bird. The guy's the real deal, guys. We may not be talking about Lonzo Ball after this. We may be talking about Jason Tatum because he balled out yesterday. He absolutely balled out. And then you got Jaylen Brown, career high yesterday as well. I think these two tandems, which I talked about a couple hypes ago, proof is in the pudding. These two young studs, I think, will make you forget about Hayward. And actually, I heard today that Hayward may be back in 4 months. They said it's an ankle. If it was a higher leg injury like what Paul George had, then it would have been full season. But he has a chance to make it back by the time the Celtics are making for their playoff run.
I don't think they beat the Raptors, man. I think even Wizards would make it close against the Celtics this year.
All right. Well, we got to figure out a bet. How about you guys in the chat? C-Rat, maybe we do a Raiders-Niners thing. We switch jerseys or something. I know it's a long ways down the road for the NBA playoffs, but I guess the Raptors would have to play the Celtics in the playoffs, so it would be banking on that. But we got to come up with something fun for you guys to witness in a bet, because I'm all about that 4-leaf clover. I think the Celtics have a chance of.
Don't get me wrong. I feel like the Celtics would beat the Wizards. I think it'll be a close series. But against the Raptors, I feel like the Raptors would definitely beat the Celtics. And I'm high on Jaylen Brown too. I think he, out of all the 16, 17 rookies, he obviously, it's just, even from looking from the first game last night, he has made the leap above the other 16, 17 rookies so far, in my opinion.
Yeah. He looked great out there. He looked a lot. He looked like he learned a lot in the offseason.
Yeah.
And now he's getting playing time. The whole team was kind of different last year with Isaiah Thomas, Crowder, and stuff like that. But this team could be really good. And then you got Kyrie that could facilitate.
They're just too young. They're too young to me.
Yeah,
they're too young.
Yeah,
inexperienced.
You may be right there. They may be the team to overtake the Cavs, but there may be like 1 or 2 more years of that before that happens.
Next year is a whole different story. Now, next year, I feel like they will probably get to the Eastern Conference Finals for sure.
Yeah.
I think they're the 5th seed.
5th?
Yeah.
You're crazy.
I do like Tatum. I'm not going to put him in the Hall of Fame yet like you are.
Huh.
The guy's played like 48 minutes, and you're just like, proof's in the pudding.
Yeah,
he's the greatest play I've ever seen.
My history says it all. I see talent.
Jaylen Brown looked really good last night. He's a player. We'll see.
Yeah.
Tatum. They're like the 4th or 5th seed. I think they're the 2nd seed with Hayward.
You're absolutely nuts.
We're gonna see a lot of Jason Tatum now, especially with Hayward out, and they have another injury to one of their other big 3 or 4 spot player. But
they do have some solid depth on their team, young talent. Like Marcus Smart's probably gonna get some more playing time now.
Terry Rozier was out there a lot last night too. Drafted a couple years ago.
Baines was out there a lot. I was like, what? Who is this guy?
Who?
Aaron Baines.
Oh yeah, I don't even know who that is. Don't know. You guys in the chat know Aaron Baines? But I think you guys are absolutely crazy. I'm saying 2nd seed on the Celtics. 1st or 2nd seed. The East is crap. So, you got the Cavs, you got the Celtics.
Dude,
you're throwing in the Raptors.
The Wizards are good.
What did the Wizards do to get any better?
The Wizards will finish higher than the Celtics.
What did the Wizards do to get any better from last year? They got the same team.
Got one of the best tandems in the league.
What rookie did they draft?
They got one of the best tandems in the league.
But where did that get them last year?
They have one of the best tandems in the league.
That sounds like a broken record over
yeah,
there.
because it's, Bradley Beal, John Wall.
Yeah.
Guys haven't done anything. They haven't won any big games.
I think they got the Polish hammer, too.
I think they need one more piece. Maybe they can make a trade. They should have got Melo. No, Melo's a cancer. But, so Jaylen Brown, we got a lot of breaks coming up where you have a possibility of getting Jaylen Brown. Now, keep in mind, he doesn't have RPAs and Immaculate, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with Flawless to see if he's actually a signer for Flawless, because there is some mystery surrounding him that it's like a Julio Jones effect where he just doesn't want to sign anymore, because Panini will wait on redemptions, but they didn't even insert any redemptions in for him for Immaculate. So
that's very strange.
Unless the Flawlesses were signed beforehand, and they just didn't get Immaculate signed. So, but he will definitely have diamonds in Flawless. But it could be a situation where you guys want to go backwards and get his Select and get his Optic.
Now is the time to stock up on him. His
means
is gonna go up.
Yeah, his RPA, that card right there.
Yeah, the NC RPA is the card to get.
Yep.
He basically performs for the first 2 months of the season like he did last night, and at $1,300, that's going to be a steal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're talking about a potential $3,500 to $4,000 card only 20 games in if he's got 25 points scored. He's on the right team. We always talk about this hobby that if you're collecting guys, they got to be on the right team. This is the right team. And he is a big athletic scorer. It's a perfect scenario. So this is, if you got some money to spend and you want to invest, I think it's a pretty safe investment to invest in Jaylen Brown. So Tatum's going to make him better. With Kyrie,
with how young Jaylen Brown is, at least for the foreseeable future, I would say in the next couple years, this RPA won't be going down significantly anytime soon.
Right.
So getting it now is the safest bet.
And you could, if you wanted to go on the cheap, you could probably get, I think I have the next slide is an Optic auto. And I think that $40, it's a sticker, but that has a potential of doubling in price. So if you wanted to get in low, invest in some of his stuff here. Silver Prisms are probably like $200, $300, but there's the potential to get like a Court Kings or something from the lower end sets that you could stock up on and maybe not invest as much as the NT. So huge investment on Jaylen Brown. I know it's no secret, but it's a guy that looked good last night, so and so did Tatum. So Tatum, I think, is going to start selling better. The Celtics are going to start going faster in breaks. Not that they already are, but they're going to go even faster because I think Tatum's the real deal, and these two are going to feed off each other.
I think we got a Jaylen Brown NT RPA floating around here somewhere.
Yep, we did. We bought one. I think we got ours for like $700.
I think it maybe going into the next buyback.
No, I think
Nope.
No.
Straight into Doug's PC.
Nope, straight into watch it rise so we can report back later to you guys.
All
It may eventually go into a buyback. I don't know if it's going to the next one, but it's one of those things that, we're talking about here. We want to see if it goes up so we can report back and say, hey, we held on to this. We got it at $700 and we sold it for $2,500. That's what the dream is sometimes. I mean, I know you guys collect too. Some people keep their cards, but the people that do rip and flip, it's good. Proof is in the pudding. I'm going to say it again of, that you can sell and make money on certain cards in this industry. So I wanted to talk about Swaggy P last night. Man, Swaggy P going off.
Who's that?
That is Iggy Azalea. He's no longer with her, but it was a very popular.
T-Lo.
What's that? I know, huh? Yeah, ratted out his boy. Now he's on the Nets. Yeah, he showed up last night. I mean, over 20 points. I think he had. He was 5 for 6 on threes, and I mean, seemed like he was just shooting from the bench and making it. It was ridiculous.
20 points in the first half.
Yeah, the story today.
But I think he only had 3 points in the second half.
Yeah, he was like 23 points.
So
the story today is that he coming out from ESPN and all the other news outlets is that he's on the perfect team because he can just shoot at will and he's gonna have wide open shots. Whereas when his previous teams, he was always under duress and always had a hand in his face because he was the scorer for his team. But now he's gonna be wide open because we got monsters on our team. So he's just going to be getting wide open threes all day. He can do his little no look like he does and not miss this time.
Does anybody know what team he was drafted by? Trivia of the day.
Wizards?
Yeah. No, actually it's not. Oh, yes, you're right. Yes, it is. He was on the Grizzlies afterwards, but he was him and JaVale McGee were rookies together on the Wizards. So that was good knowledge. Were you going to be able to get that one?
No, but I like the it was like an emotional ups and downs right there with the answer. It was
there was uncertainty.
It was like Wizards. No. Yes. No.
Well, he's like my 180th favorite player, so I just I didn't keep up with his rookie year as much. So I was a little unsure.
There was a little thing during the ring ceremony last night that I heard about that I think Draymond went up to him and was like flashing off the ring that he got, like, oh look what I got. You don't have one.
Yeah, he doesn't.
You want one?
Doesn't.
That motivated him to go out and get 23 last night.
Oh, he's getting his ring, buddy.
Yeah.
The Warriors, I mean, right now, I mean, they're on pace to not win a game. Let's face it, 0-82.
And now he's with the real Iggy. You know what I'm saying? He's not with the fake
Well,
Iggy.
that's another reason. But the Warriors were not, they weren't full strength.
No
Iguodala.
We didn't have Iguodala.
I'd never take stock in just one game. There's
that's the whole season was riding on that game last
That's what I'm
night.
saying. We're 0-82. We're 0-82.
I mean, that's it. It's doom and gloom now in Golden State. Oakland, we're doom and gloom.
Well, I had some questions. So I was asked to do an interview on GoGTS.net through Kelsey, and I answered them. I want to ask you guys the same question. You can find it at GoGTS.net. And it's talking about NBA rookies, hobby musing rookies at center of 17-18 NBA season. So they asked me some of these questions. They also asked Rich Mueller from Sports Collectors Daily and hobby writer Stephen LaRoche. I'll start with C-Red. What do you think is the biggest trading card storyline heading into the basketball season?
Trading card storyline. Trading card storyline for the basketball rookies this year,
Yep.
right? The biggest storyline is just the fact that it's an unprecedented year for basketball because every release is going to feel like almost like a high-end release.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be so hard to find.
That's a good point.
I think that's going to be the biggest story, like how people are going to get their hands on these cards. There's so many rookies to collect this year. People are going to have to collectors are going to really have to focus on who they want to collect because it's not going to be easy as this year goes on to get into the all the breaks that you want and get the teams that you want because they're going to be selling so fast.
Absolutely. And then this one's for Dan. This is a pretty star-studded rookie class, but as many big names as it has, Lonzo Ball is the biggest name of them all. Have you seen this kind of anticipation for a rookie before?
No. I mean, not since we've been doing it. There was 12, 13 with Wiggins.
Yeah.
That was pretty close, but
No, 12-13 was the double.
12. Yeah, okay, that was
14-15
14-15 was Wiggins. 12-13 was like Kyrie and
AD.
Anthony Davis.
And Clay came out of it. Draymond came out of it.
But Kyrie was wasn't there?
It was Kyrie and AD were the number one and number two basically at the time. And then you had Jimmy Butler had some steam early. Andre Drummond caught some steam. At the end of the day, now we've got and Kawhi. Kawhi came out of it, but he wasn't really huge coming into it.
Yeah, a lot of those kids in the 12-13 dual draft class for the products that year, a majority of them didn't blow up until 2 or 3 years later.
Yep.
The only ones with hype I remember back then was Anthony Davis and Damian Lillard.
Yeah, and then Damian Lillard, he didn't have any cards. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Damian Lillard just had the prisms and the selects and stuff like that. But you got to remember with the 12-13 rookie class, which was bad about that, is it was 2 rookie classes in one, so you had double the shitty guys.
Yeah.
So a lot of the products were kind of watered down in a certain regard because it was so hard to hit. And that was the only year that I remember NT had RPAs to 199.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they had, and now they're all 99. So there was just like so much more NT in the market. It was so hard to hit some of these guys. So that was the downside of that class.
Getting back to the question, I haven't seen anything like it. I mean, it's going to be crazy. Basically, following up on what C-Rad was saying before, I'm more into how manufacturers are going to handle and distributors are going to handle the allocation process.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's kind of on the behind the curtain of the industry. So I want to see how that's going to handle and how that affects the secondary market for, cases and individual card sales.
Yeah. And
no, go ahead. And I want to just stress, like, when I'm telling you guys that are watching the show or are joining us for breaks, when I'm telling you guys that this stuff is going to be hard to find, that's not just because, I want to sell breaks, which obviously I do, but we literally are getting significantly less of each of these products, even the early stuff, than we would have previously.
Everything.
Yeah, on everything. So
already. And that's something that I have not seen in 8 years for anything, in even 2017 baseball.
Right.
Nothing out of the gate. Like,
it took a while for Judge to kind of...
17, like, we were doing pre-orders. We could have ordered as much 2017 Bowman jumbos as we wanted.
Right.
We could have ordered as much Topps Tribute as we wanted. None of that was allocated until, like, starting pre-orders in, like, April, May, or when he started basically,
blowing up.
And then everything got kind of crazy. I've never seen anything start with people talking about allocating products 4 months before the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's kind of ironic that we have the Go GTS thing up here because I'm going to talk specifically about distributors. It's a hard thing when we talk about allocation. It's a hard thing because they know. Let's just throw out a imaginary number that Hoops is $100 cost or Prism's $100 cost. They know that after it comes out, it's going to be a $200 cost. So it's very hard for them to divvy it out correctly without money signs in their head thinking we can make more money later on this if we don't sell it right now. So there's this dynamic of we don't want to give out Hoops knowing that it's going to go up 2 months later. So we're going to give out just enough to try to make dealers happy like us, group breakers, shops, online retailers, things like that. So the people that get the product, they don't want to sell it all because there's a chance that they could sell it for more later. Now that also happens with Panini. Panini also is saying, hey, we had a bad 16-17 rookie class. We know you guys are all going to be able to make money on the 17-18 rookie class. So if you want more Prism basketball, you need to buy 16-17 Spectra that we have So then they put a higher value on the Prism, and they don't necessarily give it to us because they need to get their money out of the stuff that's bad. So it's kind of a tough thing that's never, ever transparent. I mean, we believe in our distributors, but it's never completely transparent when there's a chance that somebody can make more money on it. And that's, I mean, it's a good thing that it's happening because that means these collectibles are going to be more collectible, but at the same time, it's very challenging for everybody to try to get what they want when something is in that demand. I mean, it's like Best Buy having, those Black Friday sales and there's 5 TVs. Well, there's 700 people lined up. 5 people are going to get the TVs. It's kind of similar to that situation. There's 700 people that want cases of Prism and say they only made 400 cases of Prism. They're not going to be able to please everybody, and there's going to be some angry people that don't get what they want.
Yeah, I mean, and you're dead on. I mean, what I see is I understand distributors are taking the risk. They take the risk. They get the product. They're not sure if it's going to go up. They don't know what's going to happen, but they're the ones paying the money for something, and they have to move it and be able to make a profit.
Right.
At the end of the day, what's happened in a good market is, like any business, distributors don't want to leave money on the table.
Yeah.
So, but it's a fine line because you also got to take care of your customers at the same time.
Yes.
But I think it's basically like a good year. We got to maximize our profits this year because we don't know what next year is going to bring.
Right.
And I think right now they're favoring on the let's make more money than let's take care of customers.
Right.
And
right.
I'm sorry. I mean, that is just the way I see it in the situations that I've dealt with over the last, year and a half, 2 years.
Especially with baseball, then leading right into this.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it with essentially every sport. I've actually seen it with every single sport at some point through any specific distributor. And I'm not picking one distributor out. I've seen all of them do it. I've dealt with situations where they all do the same exact thing.
Right. And you know why it's struggling? Before I lose my train of thought, I want to say my train of thought. You know why it's hard for us, and I'm not looking for any pat from the back here or anything like that. This is just how we've done it from day one. Really, we haven't changed regardless of how many more breaks we do now. Is that we get a product, let's say we've gotten 30 cases of Bowman. Well, we could literally turn around and sell it for $700 profit and ship it out to another breaker, ship it out to another shop, and we don't have to sort any cards or nothing. But at the end of the day, if we're not doing breaks for you guys, then we're not able to give you guys hot products. So we've taken a stance where it's like, we'd rather take in maybe the same amount or a lot less to have content and do breaks for you guys, because that's what we're about. Our site is about group breaks. So if we don't have group breaks, then we don't get to do what we love. So it's like, rather than penny pinch everything that we do, we just make sure that we open it for you guys. So like I said, I'm not trying to, and that's why it's hard for us to understand why distributors don't give us what we want, because it's all about the dollar signs for them. Whether it's us, it's just trying to keep the momentum rolling and trying to keep everybody happy. And we think a little, yes, we're making money, but we think a lot less about how much extra money could we make, and should we not sell this as a case break because we can sell it to Blowout for $1,000 over cost and not even break it. Like the Prism that we're getting, we could easily turn around and double it on the secondary market. But then you guys aren't seeing Lonzo Ball silver Prisms being pulled or anything like that. So what's the point? So
it happens. I don't know how many times it's happened this year. It's almost at specific times throughout the baseball season. There's probably been every release where we could have sold the product for more than what we were selling it for in a group break.
Yeah,
almost every single release, I would say.
Yep.
From triple threads. Some of the hottest releases that have come out. Definitive. We were breaking that, and we could have been selling that for $1,000 more than what we were taking it on a group break.
On a break, yeah.
But we were still doing it because that's what our business model is based on.
Yeah.
Our business model is based on group breaks. We're not prospecting products. We're not basically buying stuff in order to just flip it. We are in the business of doing group breaks, and we're in the business of bringing group breaks to our consumers.
Correct.
Regardless if we're leaving money on the table, but it's a bitter pill to swallow knowing that you're leaving money on the table, but the person you're buying the product from is making sure they don't leave money on the table.
Any money on the table. Yeah.
So it's a little tough, but it is what it is. And we do have choices. We could choose not to break the stuff. I mean, nobody's forcing us to, and that's what distributors would say. Well, we're not forcing you to do a group break on it and make less money.
Yeah, but that's our business model.
But that's our business model. So it is what it is. I do see. We can talk. I know it's a little off topic, but we can talk about the Cup real quick. Cup is coming out in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Speaking of allocation, we got heavily cut. I know they always make a lot of Cup.
Yeah.
But we can never get any of it. And it doesn't even matter. I don't even think it matters how much we spend in hockey. Like
No.
we're never going to get the amount of Cup we want.
No.
I mean the amount of cases that we were actually told we're getting from allocated from our distributors was laughable.
Yeah.
Absolutely laughable. So we're probably only going to be doing like 3 cases of it because that's what we get.
That's what's going to happen.
We
And then there'll be another breaker that doesn't have a shop that's going to do 100.
And we have a shop. We're Upper Deck approved group breakers. We support every single release, hockey release throughout the whole year. We break multiple cases of every release, but got to make sure you don't leave any money on the table. So
Exactly.
But it will be readily available after the fact.
Yes.
At a higher price.
Absolutely.
So riddle me that.
Back to the no, it's good to hit on it before we move. But I want to get through this GTS thing. C-Rad, what kind of trading card activity have you seen on Ball's early cards?
Trading card activity?
Mm-hmm.
I think his the only ones in the market right now are the VIP cards and the contender so far, right?
Yep.
I think they've been pretty consistent. No huge bumps or no huge drops with him. I guess we'll see. You know what? I can't really say what's going to happen with Hoops and Donruss because I believe they're both going to be sticker autos of his, right?
Yeah, but the Hoops design, if you see it on Pini's Instagram, I should have had a photo here. It looks pretty nice.
No, it's not. Don't get me wrong. I think in general, people love Hoops. It's always a fun release every year. There's a lot of interesting cards to look at. You know, it takes you back to the old school days of what cards used to look like.
Yep.
So the sticker rookie autos, that's just what it is. That's what it is every year. I don't expect any on card on it. I just like looking at the cards, but man, oh man,
it is a base product though.
Yeah.
It never gets allocated. But
Yeah.
I do think that the Lonzos will probably be $300 base. I think that's kind of the starting on him, and I think you'll see Tatum climb closer to 200. And then they have those Kobe all rookie teams that those can go for crazy
inserts,
amounts.
Yeah, the case hits. Yep.
And then I'll follow up to that question with you with who's an under the radar rookie you think can make a big hobby impact this season?
I don't know if he's under the radar much, but I think he was hot out the gate a little bit. Malik Monk.
Yep.
I'm gonna say Malik Monk. I'm gonna say it again. Harry Giles. He would have been a huge one of the top 5 prospects if he hadn't got injured.
Kuzma.
It's funny. I know you're not looking at the article.
Kuzma's
but
not under the radar anymore, man. That kid's balling.
I know.
out.
Did you
Dude,
see his bases are going for like $70-$80?
Yeah.
Look at his preseason games.
Yeah,
He's killing
yeah.
it.
He's killing it.
And the thing about Kuzma, that's the other interesting. I was trying to get earlier to the point I was trying to get earlier with like that dual draft class where there was a bunch of crappy guys. This is also one of the first years where some of these guys that are late first round, second rounders, they're gonna be making an impact.
Yep.
Jordan Bell.
So this draft class, it
You guys just named all 3 people in the article. It's
it
funny.
completely makes sense why these products are going up the prices that they are, because the market, it's supply and demand. The market demands these. They want these rookies. They know the potential everybody knows the potential on these rookies, and you have a ton of rookies to go after. So it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be a wild year of basketball.
Absolutely. I was going to say, I know you're not reading the article, but somebody picked Malik Monk and Harry Giles, and I picked Jordan Bell. So we actually named it. I know you guys didn't even look at the article. It's crazy. So one interesting wild card this year is Ben Simmons, who missed all of the year. What would have missed all of what would have been his rookie season with injury? As he gets ready to play in the NBA, what is the market like for his? What is the market like for his cards? Man, I couldn't even talk on that one.
He crazy enough, his cards have room to grow.
I think so.
Because he could potentially win Rookie of the Year. And if he wins Rookie of the Year, all those base cards that he had that were crazy prices this year, they're going to go up.
I think so. I mean, his prices, he looked great in a couple preseason games. Tonight, You guys tune in. It's at 4. We'll have the game on here. They're playing the Wizards in Washington, so 7 o'clock on ESPN. So you'll be able to see Simmons' regular season debut, and I think the Sixers are going to slide into the AC. I think there's a lot of room to grow. But Ben Simmons is, for his size, being able to like run like almost like a point guard. I don't think we've seen something like that in a while.
He's in the and it's almost blasphemous to say this, but collecting wise, he's interesting because he's in like the he's kind of like Michael Jordan. He's not the same player as Michael Jordan. I'm not gonna say he's the next Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan, his biggest card is a base. What you just said. Is a base rookie card.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any autographs, no jersey cards.
I like
Michael
the comparison.
Jordan is just a rookie card. So we're gonna see what Simmons can do as far as collecting wise, because he just has base cards to go off of. And then his skill wise, in real life NBA terms, yeah, he's like a LeBron James, right? He can do almost anything you ask him to do. So
a little taller though. He's like 6'11", right? He's borderline 7
So
foot.
I just all the NBA community just kicked me out of the community for just comparing him to Michael Jordan.
I honestly, all I heard, I have selective hearing. All I heard is Ben Simmons is Michael Jordan, and that's all I heard. That's all I heard. You said a bunch of other things, but I zoned out after Ben Simmons is Michael Jordan. So now I'm never gonna forget. Every time you pull up Ben Simmons, I'm gonna be like, that's Jordan.
Well, his prices will kind of back up C-Rad's point there. I mean, that is a Goodwin champion, ugly ass card that sold for $8,400.
What's he wearing?
I don't know.
Because we have one. He's wearing a Nike T-shirt.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you don't have many autos. If you guys don't know the background story, why Ben Simmons is an Upper Deck exclusive. The funny thing to that is that Upper Deck does not make basketball cards. So they try to put him in Goodwin, which is kind of a Allen and Ginter type release, which is kind of a hodgepodge of different signers. And then they also had his autographed basketballs and his 8x10s available on Upper Deck Authenticated. So, but he signed with Upper Deck, which kind of hurt last year's cards. I think we would have been a lot better situation with products selling if we had autos. But what it also did was it made the Prism sell for more. It made the Immaculate Rookie sell for more. It made the NT Rookie sell for more. So it's an interesting dynamic. That you're right, where Michael Jordan, they didn't have auto cards back in 86, 87. Kind of the same with Simmons. His licensed card, he does not have any autos.
Yeah, so this is what's going through the mind of the collectors that are picking up these Ben Simmons base cards. They are thinking, even if it's like 99% probably not going to come true that he's the next Michael Jordan, right? That's a realistic way to think about it. But collectors are thinking like, hey, if he is the next Michael Jordan, I need to pick up these damn base cards.
Yep.
Because they're all that they are his true rookie cards. They're only base, but what else can we get of him? Like we could pick up a Upper Deck where he's wearing some kind of fake Warriors looking black jersey, but
yeah,
absolutely, I agree with you.
I actually, let's do a little foreshadowing. Let's say somehow Panini gets the rights to Ben Simmons.
Okay.
Let's foreshadow 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
When they start releasing some Ben Simmons autographs. Well, he's already been already been in the league for 3-4 years. Would people consider that rookie autograph?
Nope. Absolutely not.
Now, what if Panini basically
did like a retro or
something? Like a retro, and they basically reprinted some or bought back some Prism base cards, and had those signed. Would those be considered rookie autos?
It would. I don't think so, but collectors may think differently. I think the real big push would be to get him in Flawless and maybe have like something of him for this year, but it doesn't look like Upper Deck's going anywhere on him. As you know, they got a stranglehold on LeBron and Jordan as well, so now they got Simmons. And they're really just effing things up for collectors in a way.
Couldn't they get a relic though? Like couldn't they get a jersey at this point?
I think they can.
Now they can.
But
see, Dan, you remember we were there. He told us the reason they couldn't even put relic cards out because he didn't play a single game last year.
Yeah, but now
did he not? And he didn't go to the rookie premiere, right?
Because he signed to Upper Deck.
But he did go to the rookie premiere because they have photos of him.
No, I don't think those were taken. Those were like NBA 2K. They probably had stock like Getty Images photos that Panini purchased. Probably is what I'm assuming. I don't know the true story, but that you would think that they would have if he went to the rookie premiere, then they would have jerseys from him. But I think because he signed that Upper Deck exclusive, I don't think he was allowed to go to the rookie premiere.
Okay, so he played in some preseason games this year.
Yeah.
Why could you not obtain one of those jerseys?
You
And
could.
hurry up and try to get that, cut it up, and get it in the flawless.
But I mean, if he's an Upper Deck exclusive,
I mean,
he's probably going to give his jerseys to Upper Deck first.
he has to put some at auction.
Well, maybe. Yeah, it's a good point.
Do you think you have a Upper Deck representative just follow him around everywhere he goes, going, "Hey man, before you do anything with those shoes or with that jersey or anything, like, make sure you let me know because Upper Deck wants to, buy it first."
Maybe. I mean, that's one of the only things they have left besides hockey, right? So, I also wanted to go through. I think C-Rad's got to pull up eBay link real quick. I wanted to just go through some of the Panini cards of Simmons, completed auctions, high completed auctions on just cards that don't have autographs on it, which is astounding. So, you can follow that link there, and you can see that some of the National Treasures, the Immaculates, and stuff that pretty high prices for just base cards, and that's a tribute to the fact that he just doesn't have any other cards. So he doesn't have autographs. He doesn't have relics. So the next best thing is to get these base cards, and people are kind of gravitating towards the higher end sets. So that's why you see some of these auctions that are going for large amounts.
Here it comes.
The NT, the Spectra, the Immaculates. It was a lot higher than I would ever think. So $6,000. Check description. Please don't ask if we can do better.
Straight up, bruh.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, so that was $6,000 on a number to 90. Is that a number to 99? Yep, 25.90. Oh, it's a jersey number though.
Number to 99.
99. So that's just insane. Look at the Revolution Galactic Ben Simmons.
People are sleeping on Revolution, dude. Those
I
are
know.
like, those are like $45 boxes. You better get some Revolution.
Go up real quick to the shipping again. Am I looking at that right?
Full insurance, I'm guessing.
$70.
$70. Not free shipping. And don't ask if he can do better.
Don't ask.
Don't ask.
If you got to ask, you can't afford it.
Right. It's too expensive for you. It's crazy. These prices are crazy, guys. These are base cards. They don't have no autographs. And then you got the golds. I don't know exactly what that sold for.
Thousands.
Thousands of dollars on base cards.
Thousands.
Completely based on hype.
I think the impeccable gold piece. I think that's the jam right there. That's if I was gonna buy one, that's what I would want.
Now the huge risk. I know we've been really kind of on this topic for a while. The huge risk is the fact that if he gets hurt tonight, what would happen if he comes out and gets hurt? Does he just drop in half?
His cards would go down.
Yeah.
Well, no doubt, but how far? How far? Because he was hurt entirely last year. One injury is okay. You could see Blake.
No, it would add to the uncertainty of
I
how
don't think
good
so.
he will be when he comes back.
No.
And, okay, are you saying it goes into the Greg Oden?
Yes.
Greg
yes.
Oden. Okay.
Yes, 100%.
All right. So if he gets hurt again, Greg Oden.
So that's the only risk. I mean, but hopefully he can play a full season and do well before any other injuries happen. But I wanted to talk about C-Rad's heater on a heater.
You never walk away from a heater.
Just killing it. This is all from last week, all C-Rad. Just a video that James put together for us. Props to
shout out to James.
Mojo, Maryland. I mean, it started with this dual logo man of Brogdon Thonmaker. If you go, yeah, that's a redemption. That is a $15,000 redemption that was just pulled, probably.
It's a big dollar
It's a
sign.
dual logo man auto of Thonmaker and Brogdon. You're saying that's crazy? No, watch it sell. It's going to be nuts. So, and I wish we had the sound on this because there was some just great interactions and reactions from C-Rad on these cards that were being pulled.
Yeah, because
it was amazing.
I didn't know it was a logo man at first. I just thought it was a dual autograph of the Bucks rookies, and then I realized it was a logo man afterwards.
Yeah. And then this is the other big hit. I know it's a redemption, but the other two aren't. And you're like, damn, all the biggest hits are redemptions. But Triple Threads Deca of everybody under the sun that's good for baseball this year, pretty much.
I guess this works better with the volume because I'm like slow rolling it to death.
You got Bellinger, Benintendi, Bregman, I think Judge is on there, Happ.
Mancini,
And Aaron Judge, and it's like numbered to 10, and it's like a huge
They said it was number to 5.
Oh, number to 5, yeah. Moncada.
Now, and physically, huge card.
Physically, it's like
Huge card.
it's like that when it folds open. And then this one, I think this is the amazing. Well, these last two are both amazing, but
Dollar sign?
dollar sign, I think. Is it? No, it looks a little thick. Maybe it's the other one.
Oh, no, this is the dollar sign. I was going to zoom forward a little bit.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can scrub it a little bit. Dame Dollar, 1 of 1. Does that? How did that make you feel? Because that's your favorite player. You just want to be like, man, I wish this was mine.
It's just amazing. Because usually the logo men without the autos, they usually make maybe 1 or 2 of them sometimes, right? 3 of them, or is that just the rookies? The superstars are probably only
Yeah,
one
sometimes
copy,
they do. Yeah, they do 1 of 3 or something, right?
It's a beauty.
And check out Dame Dolla's new album. It's pretty dope. He's probably the most talented rapper basketball player that's ever came out. And then this monster, Steph Curry, 1 of 1 laces, and that's one of his original Under Armour shoes, game worn, stamped on the back, game worn. Monster, probably a 5K card. All those cards were pulled in 1 week. That's probably like 25K in cards. Could have just got a new Beamer for those 4 cards. Ridiculous. So that's what happens when you guys join Breaks, MojoBreak.com. We pull big hits, and you never stop in the middle of a heater. So perfect timing with Diamond Icons coming out today.
Woo!
And C-Rad's gonna be breaking it. Now don't forget about me and Dan. We still pull good hits too, but we still pull good hits too. But you never stop with a hot hand.
And congrats to everybody that got those cards.
Absolutely.
Is that really? Is that what we went like a week or 2 without talking about him? We got to talk about him again.
Yes,
Ezekiel
Elliott. I the reason I want to talk about this because I have an interesting perspective. At least maybe you guys will think it's interesting. Ezekiel Elliott's suspension is upheld, but because the judge was on vacation, they're going to let him play this week. Now, my problem with this whole scenario, and I know 10 episodes ago we talked about the original scenario with the girlfriend saying that there was domestic violence that promoted on him. So what is the point? Why are we punishing players? Are we punishing players because they're role models to children, correct? Is that the whole point that these guys are?
I have no idea.
So
I don't know. There's no it just jumps back and forth. I don't know. I don't know what the point is.
So
I think it's to make an example is what they're making examples of. They're trying to put fear into players. Like, play by our rules, do not do anything. And if you do, we're going to ruin your career.
Well,
I don't think it has anything to do with being a role. I think the role model is a cop out because that's working. That's basically doing the company line. That's like, look, we're doing this and we're doing this because they're role models for kids.
Well, that's how I'm taking it on this perspective is that, these jerseys are being sold to children.
It probably has more to do with sponsorship dollars.
It could, but here's the thing. So here's the thing. He was not convicted in a court of law, and I'm not going to really dwell on that aspect of it, but the fact that we're still talking about this is bringing more light to the situation when it needs to just be scrubbed underneath the rug. It should just have been handled at the beginning of the season. So now we're telling everybody that's a fan, you have a child that's a fan of the Cowboys that maybe has an Elliott jersey on, wants to be a running back or is a running back in his Pop Warner football team, and he has to keep hearing about Elliott being suspended. So what does he do? He gets on his computer, he Googles, and he finds out that Elliott possibly committed domestic violence. Why do we need to keep putting this out in the media? This is not good for anybody. This is just bringing more awareness to domestic violence that actually never happened. So it's just complete bad press for no reason. And now because of a judge is on vacation, they can't suspend him for this week.
Well, again,
the Niners need all the help they can get. Fuck. Let's he should have been suspended this week. He should have been suspended at the beginning of the year if we're going to do it. We're doing this dance around. It's going to be a whole year of advertising for domestic violence. It's a whole year of advertising domestic violence.
Yeah.
The NFL wants to set an example. They want to put fear in the players, and they want them to play by their rules. They wanted Elliott just to accept his suspension. Elliott probably should have accepted it. Right out of the gate, he should have been like, all right, week 1 through 6, suspend me. I'll be back week 7. I'll still run for 1,000 yards. But he is actually the one who's drawing it out.
Yeah.
Because he obviously, he feels that he shouldn't get suspended. He feels that he didn't do anything wrong.
And you don't know. The Cowboys are having a subpar season.
But no matter what happens at this point, people are going to think of Elliott and they're going to think that he is guilty. He has done it, and he may have not done anything wrong, but the general perspective of it is that he, especially if he gets suspended, he's guilty. He's guilty of whatever he did.
Right, but he wasn't guilty by the state or federal level, which just kills me that the NFL is trying to play God But if they were to play God and just get it over with, now we have to listen to it all year long, which is just bringing more awareness. That's my whole point. It's just bringing more awareness to a negative issue that doesn't help anybody out. This is a negative issue that should have been handled, and I know but he's feeling like he didn't do anything. And the Cowboys, I mean, if you're a Cowboy fan, you got to be thinking, hey, we're having a bad season. Is it the distraction of what's going on here? This is a distraction. If you're on the Cowboys, it's a distraction, and I know we're getting short on time, so we'll move past it.
We can have an off-air conversation, but I was going to say, what would the situation be if it was that guy that you just showed? Same situation, but it's Aaron Rodgers and not Elliott.
I think it's the same thing. Look what they did to Brady. They suspended.
I think Goodell really, really despises Tom Brady for whatever reason. But Aaron Rodgers is a golden child. They love the NFL loves them some discount double check.
Are you trying to bring in a black and white?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying a different perspective. Like Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, kind of ambassadors for the NFL. They do commercials for the NFL. They never really they're never shining in a bad light. They're ambassadors for the NFL. Would it be any different? The Tom Brady thing is a little different. There was something weird in play there that Goodell just had. He had a vendetta against him for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, would it play out differently if it was like a Peyton Manning type player?
You're right. I mean, I guess we would only know if that happened. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger didn't really have to do anything. He was convicted. I mean, he was allegedly convicted of rape, and nothing really happened to him.
That's a good point.
So that's kind of an ambassador of the NFL.
I don't really think of Ben Roethlisberger as an ambassador.
No, he doesn't throw his face on commercials. Or anything like
that. But you know, Aaron Rodgers. I'm trying to think of a couple other guys who are just like in the forefront. Cam Newton, ambassador.
Yeah.
Said something.
I'm glad you threw a black guy in there.
No, Cam Newton. But he also said something that, I mean, when he said it's funny to hear a girl talk about running routes.
Oh yeah, that was terrible. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal.
He got thrown under the bus. He
lost a sponsor.
He lost his yogurt money.
But you know what? He came out with he came out with a thing that he owned up to everything. Maybe if Elliott would have done that, maybe a different scenario. But I just think that just the whole point of it is don't draw it out and bring it more to the light. We don't need to hear about it anymore. Kids don't need to hear about it anymore. People that are casual fans that are thinking about going to games, they don't need to hear about Elliott anymore. Let's just get it over with. But I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers, obviously doom and gloom for Packers fans. My opinion is I think you guys are going to be fine. I do like Brett Hundley. I think Brett Hundley is going to come in. Obviously, he's not Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think you're going to lose that much.
UCLA.
I think he's US. Yeah, he is UCLA. That's right, the blue and the gold. And, he's not a rookie. He was drafted in 2015. He's been behind Aaron Rodgers for a few years, who was a fine Brett Favre. So you got a Aaron Brett coming back in. And I think there could be an investment opportunity with Brett Hundley this year. Packers go a little bit deep in the playoffs. He wins a few games. I mean, it looks like people were buying his RPAs for $200. He might have bumped up a little bit after the injury, but could be a scenario. This guy had a good college career. And I think he's got some tools there that he could win some games. So I like Brett Hundley. And I think, people, like I said, Packers fans are doom and gloom because their boy's gone. I think Brett Hundley is going to do just fine.
Hard to not be doom and gloom when you're replacing Aaron Rodgers with Brett Hundley.
I get you.
I mean,
but you got to look at glass half full sometimes.
Yeah, hard to when it's Aaron Rodgers.
It is.
I
wanted to ask.
Did you just call Brett Hundley just as good as Aaron Rodgers?
I did not.
That's what I heard.
I did not.
That's what I heard. I'm like,
I think he's got a lot.
Is Brett Hundley the next bad man?
I think he's like a Brissett. I think he's a serviceable quarterback, and I think they got enough pieces around him. I mean, they got Ty Montgomery. They've got a couple, up and coming like the Aaron Jones kid, which I don't know if he's sustained an injury, but
I think Colin Kaepernick might be a good Packer.
They're talking about getting him over there. He wouldn't be able to wear number 7 unless Hundley gave it up. But this is the leaders for the NFL stat categories that we have on the screen. I'm going to start with Dan. Which one of these names in any of these categories surprises you the most?
We're even doing defense?
You can go that way if you want. I'd like to see your argument on that.
Is that the Zach Brown band? Former Titan, right?
I think so.
Surprising passing yards, Alex Smith.
Yeah.
That's the one that jumps out at me, Alex Smith. Everybody else, I mean, yeah, 8 weeks ago I'd have been like Kareem Hunt. Are you serious?
It's crazy that we got 2 rookies, number 1 and number 2 in yards. C-Rad, what do you think? Which one sticks out at you the most? Maybe the fact that Derek Carr's not on there?
Yeah. That's for sure.
Where's EJ Manuel?
I know. I was gonna go Todd Gurley. I can't believe he's up there.
How about interceptions? Malik Hooker, the rookie.
I know. Check that out.
That's
3.
pretty good.
My biggest thing is Adam Thielen. To me.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at too.
But, you guys know how I feel on that. I don't need to go into that, why I feel that way.
Nah, man. Adam Thielen, Sammy B, and Case Keenum love that guy. But,
Seems like it.
The thing is I'm surprised Stephon Diggs has had some really good games, too, and I'm surprised he's not up there. The Vikings are real deal. Good defense.
They're really good.
Winning games with Case. I think Teddy B is coming off of injured reserve.
They did well.
And I don't know what did they do.
They lost Teddy B and Adrian Peterson last year and still did well. So
Bridgewater.
Good coaching staff there.
Bridgewater comes
amazing.
back. What do? He is the future. Do you mess with what works? Is Sam Bradford? I guess he is still the guy when he's healthy. But
so.
But if Case Keenum is starting, Sam Bradford's hurt. He can't play. Teddy Bridgewater is healthy. Do you bench Case Keenum and bring in Teddy B?
God, you got a whole team mid class. I mean, it's.
You know what? It's the
How about
Sam
you do?
Bradford?
How about you do?
Sam Bradford's right there.
How about you do quarterback by committee?
I know.
Keep
Somebody should do it.
him healthy.
You know what? It's
They all get a
surprising to me?
quarter.
Actually, now I'm looking at it again. Surprising to me. Phillip Rivers at number 4.
Yeah, and they haven't. Their just
team
won
is-
their first game.
No,
right?
they're 2-4.
I'm super biased,
No, I don't think. I think they won their first game.
No, I
though.
think they're 2-4.
but the Chargers are hot garbage.
No, when you're down and you got to throw some balls to get
Yeah,
back
you're
in the
right,
game,
you're right, you're
that's
right.
gonna have some
Yeah, they're
inflated
two-
stats.
You're right. They're 2-4. Good knowledge.
I'm usually right.
I wanted to go on the next screen. I wanted to ask you guys the up and coming Carson Wentz. Who would you rather have if you were starting a franchise today? Would you rather have Carson Wentz or Jameis Winston?
Jameis Winston.
Man, that's hard.
Jameis
It's
Winston.
hard to say right now, but
Jameis Winston.
right
Why?
now, I guess I would go with.
Jameis Winston's got looks like a ball player.
Yeah.
He's got a strong arm. He's elusive. I like Jameis Winston.
Wentz is probably having a better year right now, but we'll see.
Carson
It's still
Carson
early.
Wentz always will get compared to Jared Goff. He's always going to be second best. Nothing wrong with
Oh,
Silver,
wow.
I guess. Nothing wrong with Silver. But
Carson Wentz is a potential MVP candidate this year, and I
looking like a
I don't
stud.
even think it's close. I think that Carson Wentz is it's almost going to be like in 10 years from now, Carson Wentz going to be like Montana, and Winston's going to be like Steve Bono.
holy crap.
That's how it's going to be.
Holy crap. Like, oh.
Carson Wentz looks like Favre out there, man. Carson Wentz is slinging the ball. Jameis Winston has had all the talent around him for 2
Again,
years.
I just heard Carson Wentz is better than Brett Favre. That's all I heard. That's all I heard.
No, I heard Carson Wentz, Joe Montana. That's what I heard.
Well, I mean, I'd give him that. That's a fair comparison.
I like Carson Wentz a lot, and Brent's probably going to ask in the chat if I'll marry him. Possibly. If I get enough NTRPAs, maybe I will.
Dun, dun, dun.
But
No,
he looks good. I mean, he has Nelson Aguilar. He's
Jameis
got-
Winston's a leader, dude. A leader.
Is he?
He's a leader.
He hasn't done anything yet.
He's a leader in the
Scrub.
Well,
clubhouse.
technically, they both
Scrub.
haven't done anything yet.
Nah.
We're talking about what they've accomplished.
But we've got Winston's got an extra year on him, and that's why I'm thinking failure.
Okay.
That's my thing. What's the Bucks? What are we looking at? in the
I'll
Bucks
say it's
this
too
year?
early to tell on both.
2-3 for the Bucks. The Eagles are 5-1. They have the best record in the NFC. So, stats.
Yeah,
kinda
well,
prove it all
and-
right.
Okay. So the Buccaneers didn't have Dougie Martin, so they didn't have a running back.
Who's the starter for the Eagles?
They're a pass first.
Exactly.
They're pass first
exactly.
offense.
I think Wendell Smallwood he's hurt. They have nobody.
They got somebody.
I think Zach Ertz got hurt. Carson Wentz is doing it. He's out there making plays. So believe it. Carson Wentz. Might be
Yeah.
representing the NFC in the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, who's going to compete?
The Rams.
Oh, come on. You will see when the Eagles beat you. You probably won't even make the playoffs.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Buccaneers are going to finish with a better record than the Eagles.
No. What do you want to bet on that? I'm in. That's a sucker bet right there for you.
That's another Jersey bet
Nah,
right there.
I don't bet.
I've already got.
I'm not a bet.
I've already got three wins on you.
I'm not a betting man.
But we've got Diamond Icons coming up, guys. There's a few spots left in the case because we're going to run over a little bit of time, but we still got spots. So for football, 8-box cases of Phoenix football, brand new, drop today. Base cards look surprisingly like kind of like a prism technology. They're
Looks like
absolutely
optic.
yeah, they're absolutely gorgeous, guys. So check out Phoenix football. Might be able to pull the best player in the NFL is Carson Wentz.
Really? Wait,
I called it.
we're bringing back Dusty, huh?
Choked. 10 playoff appearances, 10 outskis. The only coach in MLB history that's choked his way through his 20-year career and cannot win the big game. You guys in the chat were talking all good about Dusty. What did he do? He put Max Scherzer in there. 2 games rest, gave up who knows how many runs, and got ousted out of the playoffs just like he does every year he's in the playoffs. So until this man can win, and I don't hate it. He's a good guy. I'm just saying the proof is in the pudding that he was a choke artist, and he choked again. I mean, I'm just a guy that sits here and opens up cards and doesn't have anywhere near managerial baseball experience. But I called it last week. What did he do? He came out and choked again.
Dusty's he's had bad luck in the playoffs.
He has.
Just bad luck.
So what this is inspired.
Still a good manager.
He's a good regular season man.
He's a good manager.
He's a Peyton Manning before Peyton Manning.
But Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl.
I know he did, but he went a while choking.
Won two of them.
So I created a new subset called Sports Fails, and I want you guys to tweet us with your ideas because so many times in the card industry, we always are about the victories, the records, the milestones. Why don't we make cards about failures? Because I think that's funny. I would collect it. So these are some of the mock-ups that I had our design team make. The Weber non-timeout. That would be one of them.
But you used tops.
That's why I said it's not tops. So
you should have put like one P in there.
the Weber non-timeout. Go to the next one. This is just a whole set. This is the first 7 cards of it. Odin over Durant. The 45-year-old got drafted first overall. Failure for the Portland Trail
You mean
Blazers.
LeBron James' dad?
Yeah, LeBron James' dad. We got Tuck Rule Screws Raiders.
Oh, no. And I love that documentary that just came out about this, released by NFL. You guys haven't seen it, go watch it.
Oh, yeah? I got to check that one out.
It's like a 20-minute thing. They go over the entire play, the entire day, and how the rule has changed. It was changed in, I think, 2013 or 2011 or something.
Yeah, I got to watch that. Michael Floyd? Huh?
Oh, that if you haven't seen that video, that is amazing.
Yeah, you got to
That's
YouTube Michael Floyd drunk. He had a really good time. He fell
good
asleep.
one. It's a
Fell
good one.
asleep at a stoplight or a light. Bartman keeps Curse alive. Another sports fail. Curse has since been gone, and they invited him back.
Oh man!
Draft day photo of Laramie Tunsil.
Oh man, you should have had. I want to foreshadow this as well. I was hoping you would put the Bryce Harper throwing his helmet at Hunter Strickland.
Oh, that would have been great.
But
I actually had a Chris Everett, Jim Everett one. I must have not uploaded, but I had that.
You should have got the one where the guy, where Jermaine O'Neal super punches the Pistons fan.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So you guys tweet us your biggest sports blunders at mojobreak.com on Twitter, and we'll enter you in to win a free box of certified Cuts football. So, I mean, we left it wide open. We only covered like 7 sports blunders. There's so many more that we can do. But I'm just saying, wouldn't that be a fun, interesting set? I know no company will do it, but I mean, you got to take the good with the bad because some of these moments, like the Tuck rule and stuff like that, there was stuff that came out of that created champions. So it's pretty funny. Too soon on Gordon Hayward. I was thinking about that, but no. Bryce Harper hair with dreads. Yeah, that's a good one. So going to the next. We have a few more seconds before we get into Diamond Icons because we do still have some spots available, but I wanted to show you some of the previews and some of the cards that have already been pulled. This is an ultra rare high-end set. Beautiful on-card autos. Everybody you can think of is in here. Obviously, everybody's going to be chasing Aaron Judge with the epic game that he had last night. My boy, Barry Bonds, is in here. There's just lots of big hits. Mike Trout is live in here. 10 hits a box you're looking at. You got some absolute crazy relics like game-used cleats, things like that. Logo Mans.
That is a cleat. That's like a metal cleat.
It is.
That's awesome.
I can't wait to see, the huge card it comes in. And if you want to get in some absolute crazy epicness, on Friday we have a triple case baseball. It's Diamond Icons in full case form, triple threads, and Bowman Chrome, and it's 26 total spots, so that will be ridiculous. So check that out. I know spots will fly on that. That's going to be a epic break for Friday night. We also have box breaks of Diamond Icons today, along with the hit random case, where you can get in at $69 a random team for one box. And if you go cardless, we're still going to send you out a Heritage High number pack, so no one walks away with anything. So you can go ahead and get in on those breaks today. We're going to pretty much be doing Diamond Icons for the next 4 days, but we didn't get that much of it. So act now before it's too late because, like I said, cases are already up to like $7,000 a case on Blowout or something crazy like that. And people are speculating they only made like 150 to 200 cases. So there's going to be – and there's 2 cut autos every case, and they have everybody you could think of. Ruth, DiMaggio, Page, insane cut auto checklist. So we should pull some nasty cut autos today. So be sure to get in on Diamond Icons before it's too late. Our favorite 2 topics, Ezekiel Elliott and Aaron Judge. We'd be remiss to not talk about the epic game.
Dude, still in the Bash Brothers.
I know he did. 2 home runs last night. His cards are, like I said, before the playoffs, I said invest a little bit. He was at 500 on his Chrome cards. They've already started to climb a little bit. And if the Yankees somehow get into the World Series, which is probably a 50-50 at this point, I'm not a math genius, but it's 2-2 right now.
They're up 2-0 right now.
They're up 2-0 on this game already, so they could be up 3-2. Judge in the World Series, wow. That could be like a $1,500 card.
But the Astros are supposed to win. I said the Astros are going to win.
They were my pick, and I'm still not counting them out. I think the Yankees are still a little young. I wanted to get the batting order from last year's Yankees compared to now, and I'm sure there's probably 8 different guys on the batting order. So that's just these guys have all came up this year.
Actually, I don't think so. I think late last season, I think
Judge
was up. Gary Sanchez was playing.
I'm talking about their opening day roster to now. I mean, there was a lot of changes in the Yankees. The Yankees last year were
you mean opening
sellers.
You mean opening day last year to
compared to right
postseason right now?
Yeah.
It's all
different.
It's all different.
But that usually teams like that don't ascend that quickly. So I'm waiting for some some crow to be eaten by a team that needs some more experience in the playoffs. So that's my opinion. But they're proving everybody wrong so far. So we'll see. I'm going to throw out a Hail Mary that you guys are going to laugh and criticize me for. I've already talked about it earlier on the feed. It's an absolute crazy Hail Mary. It's crazier than Michael Jordan to Simmons. I am predicting that the Cubs still win the series.
What?
No.
They're 3-0. The Dodgers are choke artists, just like Dusty Baker.
You're wrong. I mean, of course, you can say that, and if it doesn't happen, you're like, well, it wasn't supposed to happen anyway. But if it does,
give away my strategy,
if it does, you're gonna be like, I'm a genius. I called it.
Well,
so I get what you're doing.
I go for the long shots.
I get what you're doing. I mean,
I just have a feeling.
It's like saying, well, I have a feeling the Niners are going to make the playoffs right now. They're going to turn it around and make the playoffs.
I wouldn't go that crazy.
Now, that happens. I'm like, woo, I'm a genius. It doesn't happen. I'm like, well, they were 0-6. I mean, what are the chances of that happening?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
They're pretty much supposed to not make it.
Yeah, so
playoffs, just trying to win a game.
Just trying to win a game. I kind of wanted to get into a heated debate on this topic, but we're running short on time. I absolutely believe that
Charlie C.
If you guys aren't familiar with what this play was, this was I think it was game 2, and Culberson was called out at first. He slid around, and then they called the catcher Wilson Contreras for blocking the plate, which I thought was a superior play by Wilson Contreras.
No, he's blocking the plate.
And the old rule, yeah, but he shouldn't have slid with his damn hand. If he would have slid with his feet, he would have gotten in there. He was trying to be sly.
So, yeah, but if he would have – so what would have happened if he would have actually just lit him up? What would have happened if he basically was like, you know what, I'm gonna rip his leg off? Then he would have been called out.
I don't know. That's a good question. I know they're trying to protect the catchers.
They are.
But they also say the catcher does have the opportunity.
He was blocking the plate, and if he wasn't blocking the plate, Culberson would have been safe. The reason why he basically slid that way and then put his hand and tried to get it is because he had to, because the plate was being blocked. Illegal play. Wilson Contreras is in the wrong. They called him safe. That was the correct call. Dodgers win.
But you could
And
block.
it actually didn't even really have any outcome of the game.
It was a 5-2, but
It did.
I have a new question, guys. For baseball, I'm guessing the superior strategy when trying to get home safe or get to any place safe is to slide. But do you always have to slide or do guys like ever cross like that by just standing upright, or do they always sliding?
No, I mean,
well,
if there's a play like that, that's what I was saying before. If he didn't slide and say he just basically ran right over Contreras, I don't know what the call would have been, because they could have said, well, he basically initiated contact and now he's out. I don't know. I don't know where that rule.
Why can you block the base on every other base? If
You
you're sliding in a second, you can put your foot in front of second base. Because I've seen outs that way. So you could put your foot in front of second base where he can't touch it, and you can tag him out.
Well, I don't know, but
it's
but
because
it's
because of the Posey rule, which Posey got blown up by the guy in the Marlins that is not in the league anymore. Scott something, I can't remember his name. Got blown up, ankle torn off, basically out for a year. They went in that's off season and made a rule that you can't blow up the catcher. But now the catcher can't even put his leg out to block the plate. That's what baseball was about, and that's what I have a problem with the rule. That's a very hard play to make for Wilson Contreras to catch the ball, put his foot out at the same time, and make the tag. That's a hard play to do.
Contreras basically,
athletic play.
if Culberson would have basically slid the way he should have, he would have blew him up and probably would have ended the season for Contreras. He would have blew.
But he was he
would
put
have
his leg
basically
out.
he would have basically blew out his knee right there. Dude, if he basically slid into him, Contreras would have been done.
But why are you allowed to slide into guys at second base? Shouldn't we protect that then too?
I don't know. But the fact is, the rule is at home plate you cannot block the plate. He is blocking the plate. I'm not saying that like it's either right or wrong, but the rule.
It was called the right.
I'm
not disputing that.
Both players know what the rule is, and there's no doubt that the plate is being blocked by Contreras.
I'm not disputing that. I just.
But
think
I know what you're saying. You're like,
great play that should have been rewarded.
You're all, why can you block? Well, I mean, so basically, second base is the one you're talking about because you're not going to block first.
Right.
Like if you were playing first base,
leg ripped off.
Well, if you were playing first base and say you just ran into the line and you just blocked the player from getting to first, well, it'd be interference.
Yeah.
He'd be safe. Second, you see that with double plays that are turned.
Yeah.
A lot of players will basically
try to break up the double play.
Yeah, they'll try to break up the double play, or second baseman or shortstop will put their foot down to try to block a player from being able to slide in. Yeah, that's legal. I don't know why that's legal and blocking the plate.
That's what I'm saying. That's a kind of a gray area, and I think it was a very athletic play. It was great throw by Schwarber, who is not known for his fielding skills.
I honestly think that they should go back to the old rule where you're a catcher, and if you don't mind getting blown up by the runner, it's your choice to stand in front of the plate.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason they did the rule, and we'll move on to the scam part of this afterwards, but I think it was because Posey was basically led to be in front of the plate by the throw, and then the guy just went down, and they're trying to avoid people from going down like a linebacker and trying to take somebody
One of
out.
the most exciting plays in baseball
is
a play at the plate.
Yeah.
So you just took that. I mean, baseball's already losing the younger demographic, so you take out the most exciting plays of the game, and what are you going to be left with in 30, 40, 50 years?
Home runs. That's it.
No, are you going to be left with anybody in the stands watching the game?
Yeah.
Are you? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, another interesting fact about baseball is somebody I forget what show I was listening to, but the amount of home runs this year has like skyrocketed, right? Overall as a league. And guys are saying that, okay, a guy that's batting 300 that went 3 for 10 and got 3 singles is not as effective as a guy that went 1 for 10 and hit 1 home run, because a home run produced a run.
Yeah.
So everybody is now changing the game to just swing for the fences. So you're seeing more strikeouts and more home runs because the Tony Gwynn style of playing, or like the batting 300 is not as effective. You're going, it's like the 3-pointer in basketball.
I think that's a team by team basis. If your strength on your team is you have a bunch of big guys who can hit home runs, then so be it. The Giants proved that they won 3 World Series without having one of those players.
True. Yeah,
and they did it. They did it.
I think this has progressively happened over the last 2 years.
I have no doubt that the balls are juiced.
Yeah, that's too.
I don't think there's any doubt.
Well, I think guys are swinging harder. I mean, 'cause just think about it. If you got a guy on first, if you make contact, there's a good chance you get a double play. If you're swinging for the fences, you strike out, then the next guy can come out and try to hit a home run too.
Dude, they're gonna start. They're gonna start having the 3-run home run if it goes 500 feet.
I know they're gonna change like a 3. Yeah,
they're gonna start having like different targets out in like the stands. If you hit those targets, it's like 5-run home run.
Yep. Well, and, for the Diamond Icons break that's coming up, I think there's like 9 left, guys. We're giving away a free spot, so everybody has a shot at getting an extra bonus spot, and it goes for everybody. So all the 39 spots that are purchased. So this video is pulled down, or else I could show you guys. So we've been talking about this in consecutive weeks, and there's a common thread here. So this is a breaker that this one was proven to be a scam. Now, we don't know if it's on the breaker. We could assume it's on the breaker. So what happened was there was a Leaf memorabilia vault break, which you guys haven't seen us break it. It's these huge boxes that have like memorabilia in them, like bats, signed photos, jerseys, things like that. There's 10 items in the box. This breaker did a few of them, and there was like an Avisail Garcia bat, which Rich Layton from Layton Sports Cards was one of the ones that goes, hey, I don't think Brian Gray would put in an Avisail Garcia bat. If you do as much cases as Rich or us, you kind of see a pattern. You see a lot of Frank Thomas. You see a lot of Pete Rose. You see a lot of guys that Brian Gray has put in there. So there was and then people questioned the tape. It wasn't in the inner box. So apparently this guy repacked, opened several boxes of Leaf memorabilia vaults, and basically did the break, and some of the items were missing. So if you go to the next screen, Brian Gray, who packed out the items himself and has spreadsheets, confirmed that, in fact, hey, guys, sorry for the delayed reply. After watching the videos, multiple cases were tampered with and big hits were pulled. Cheaper contents from all the cases mixed in and few extra pieces of crap thrown in. So he basically took out all the big hits and repacked it and sold it to customers. The guy's a newer breaker, and the similarities here for you guys out there that buy into other people's breaks, no website, no longevity. So that's all I'm saying is there's no scams being conducted by the big guys that have been in this industry for a long time. So I like I say every week is be wary of who you buy for. Just don't give your money to everybody, because there's guys. It's very easy to not be transparent in this industry. This box is just taped and it's bubble wrapped. That's it. There's no seals, really nothing. So if you're dealing with somebody that has an opportunity to do something funny, it's going to be a guy that just has a Facebook website.
And I was reading the same thing, and my first red flag, and I actually did see the video before it was pulled down. My first red flag is that we've opened this for 2 consecutive years. I think this release has been, I think it's 2 years. There's been other stuff that's been similar to it, but this specific release, 2 years. Now, if you've seen us open it, it is always a pain in the ass for us to get through the first layer of bubble wrap.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like, it makes Doug and I not look like the smartest dudes ever, C-Rad included there. Like, we're sitting there like,
it's hard.
With box cutters, like, oh my God, like how much bubble wrap. And it's like, whoever is packaging that stuff up from Leaf is like the master gift wrapper.
Yes.
Like, they're so good. It like wrapping. I can't wrap Christmas gifts to save my
Neither
life.
can I, bag it up.
But it's like so much bubble wrap, so much tape, and it's like it's taped everywhere. So you're like cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting, and you're just like, where's the end?
Yeah.
I saw this one, and he opened it up, and it was just a bunch of stuff that was bubble wrapped, but the bubble wrap was just kind of thrown in there.
Yeah.
Never seen that before in any of the Leaf Vault cases. I have seen bats, but the bats usually are not thrown in there where you would hear the bat rattling around if you were to open up the box. Also, if you did see the video, when he opened up the tape, he basically did a little cut, And then all of a sudden he just like lifted it up and it just came completely
Right.
apart. And I'm all right, that tape, you need to cut it on the sides of it as well. It's just not going to come off
Yeah.
unless you're the strongest man alive.
And he called the breaker, and the breaker claimed that he's like, where did you get these cases from? And the guy's like, I don't know the guy's name, blah, blah, blah. So it was very fishy. He pulled down all the videos. He made comments saying that the cases were tampered with afterwards to his customers, but then he pulled that down.
Man, I want to see the videos.
Huh?
I want to see the videos.
I went on his YouTube, and that was case 2. He doesn't have case 1 or case 2 up there at all. So anything that he's done, he's deleted. So that's an admission of guilt right there. Now, this isn't an advertisement for us. This is an advertisement for good guys in this industry that don't buy from people that have just a Facebook, that have no skin. And I say this week after week. If you guys watch the show every week, these guys don't have any skin in the game. They can do one scam and get out. And who hurts? You guys as customers.
I don't want to lump everybody, like all the Facebook breakers, together with somebody who did a scam. That's not fair to them. But do your due diligence when purchasing and giving somebody your money.
Yeah.
Maybe watch a couple of their breaks, see how they conduct it. See how basically maybe if you buy into a spot, buy something like extremely cheap to see how it flows through the whole process.
As simple as this, go to their YouTube channel and see if they've been in business for more than a week. Like if they have 2 videos up, all right, maybe that's a wait and see. There's enough action to get in somewhere else. There's enough breakers doing all of the same products. So there's no reason to give a guy.
I mean, yeah,
everybody's got to start somewhere.
These guys who are filling on Facebook, if they want to make it legit, they need to go out of their way to make a website.
Right.
I mean, make a website, have a contact point so people can contact you. Make an effort. Make it look like you're not trying to run a scam.
Right. And we'll leave it at that. And thank you guys for joining our breaks. And we've got more breaks throughout the day with Diamond Icons, Phoenix, and the new Update Baseball. We also have stuff going on all week. Next week, there's going to be Bowman High Tech release. So be sure to check it out. If you want to save 10% off on any team-style break, it won't work on any of the Diamond Icons, but any of the team-style breaks like the Phoenixes that are coming up or the Update, you can use code MOJOBREAK. And with that, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning into the Hype week in and week out. We appreciate it. And we'll be right back here with Diamond Icon, so don't go anywhere. We're not going to shut the feed down, but we're going to take a quick break to close everything up, and then we'll be back live, and we're going to open up some nastiness with Diamond Icon. So, all right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Check you out later.
Later.
We will see you next time